Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate it. All right, so let's jump right into it. Let us jump right into it. I want to have a conversation mostly with the young men out there, but I know that doesn't seem to be my demographic. So if this appeals to you, ladies, men, older men, whatever, and make sure that you sit down your young men in your life, your little nephews, cousins, sons, grandchildren, etc. Have them have a gander at this episode, and hopefully they can take some advice from someone who's been in their shoes before. So 4 years ago, there's a woman by the name of Tomi Lahren, who is a contributor of more right-wing conservative content. But 4 years ago, she dropped what I thought was gems on how men need to make a plan. She did the PSA to young men, to men. She included 30, 40, 50-year-olds in this rant that she did. So somebody condensed it down. It's about 3 minutes, a little more than 3 minutes. So I'm going to play it right now.
Consider myself a teacher, a helper, someone who could possibly inspire people to be better. So with that being said, this is a PSA for all the men out there and all the boys who think they're men, but they're actually boys. This is going to be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. They're all successful, they're all intelligent, they're all good people. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country. I've made notes. This is how invested I am in this because I've been thinking about this for about 2 weeks solid now. Are you actually single? That means single. That is the first question, believe it or not, that needs to be asked. And ladies, you should be asking it because in 2020, it's not a given anymore that a guy that's actively pursuing you is actually single. Women do not want a pen pal. We don't want a texting pal. We quite frankly don't care if you text us all day or if you don't text us at all. If you're not going to make a plan to actually see us in person, not interested. Make a plan. I know it's not rocket science, but men of 2020, it seems like it's pretty difficult for you to figure out. And I'm not a feminist, so please don't take this as a feminist rant. I love men. If you want to date a girl that has nothing going on, then that's fine. But please do not mix in people like me and my friends who have something going on. Quite frankly, we take it as an insult if we find out that you are also talking to 5 Tatianas who have nothing going on. So value. There's a lot of women out there that I know that are my good friends who have amazing jobs, who work really hard, but who can't seem to find a decent guy, even if they go up in age 5 to 10 to 15 years, because those guys all want to be with 21-year-olds who have nothing going on. Now, I love a good Instagram story. Y'all know I do. I love a good boomerang. I love a good whatever. But if that's all you do, men, if that's all she does, probably Houston, we have a problem. Once I'm turned off, I am turned off. And I don't care anymore. Don't be a bitch. Don't be butthurt. You did it to yourself. Okay? And it's no longer my problem. Now it's become a personal problem of yours. I do have high standards and high expectations. You don't really have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be famous. You don't even really have to make a lot of money or have a really fantastic job. You just have to be determined. You have to be in some way successful in that you want to attain some certain kind of success for yourself. You're driven. You have goals. You can handle a woman with standards. That's not going to turn you off. And you're going to put in the effort to be with somebody like myself or my friends. We deserve that. And we will not compromise our standards. It will be a cold day in hell when I chase a man. We have all dealt with men who treat us like we are not good enough. No, the problem is we are too enough and you can't handle it. Number 1, are you single? No, really. 2, make plans. We don't want a pen pal. 3, value. Value someone who has value. Consistency. Be consistent. Don't be great and then fade out. And then don't fade out and then think that you're going to fade back in, because it ain't going to work. And last but not least, if all else fails, don't be a bitch.
All right, so we're back from her rant there. And so listen, I just want to echo those sentiments, right? 4 years later, I'm still hearing ladies, I have a daughter, and she has friends, and I'm still hearing much of the same sentiment from the guys, and or from them about the men that they are dating, trying to date. Just not being intentional, being airheaded, not having a focus, not being on game, not being on purpose, not putting them as a priority. All this different type of craziness, right? I think that, as we talk about this, right? So this social media world that we live in, where you can just slide into somebody's DMs, right? There's always going to be somebody more beautiful. There's always going to be somebody more interesting. There's a phenomenon about newness. There's a phenomenon about and somebody who's new, fresh, exciting. And so as long as people are on that game, on that frame of thinking, then there will always be somebody who's going to grab their attention. It's always going to be somebody who's going to grab your attention. Always going to be somebody who's going to, and that's just the way that it is. So, these ladies are out here saying they're trying to date, trying to meet people, and they run into somebody who's taking them on a date, and the guy's not on the phone, or he's on his phone and not paying them full attention, saying he's going to be at X a certain amount of time and then being late for it, things along those lines. So, this is a phenomenon we got to really kind of do something about, if it's what you want, right? I mean, I'm assuming that people are getting people's numbers, they're sliding into people's DMs in order to get to know them. Now, I know that there's a more, I don't want to call it nefarious, but it can come off as nefarious or negative goal of trying to get into somebody's pants. And I think that too often these guys are trying to talk to ladies, and if it doesn't immediately go to sex or go to the do, then they just move on to somebody different, right? So the establishment of long-term lasting relationships is something we have to get back to. And it's difficult, when we see so many people who are just behaving this way. So again, I talk to younger ladies in their 20s who are experiencing exactly what Tommy Lauren is talking about, right? These guys are unintentional. They can't make a date. They can't make a plan. They lack focus. They lack determination. And I get it. A lot of this has to do with the economy. A lot of it has to do with social media, the phenomenon that I just talked about. But the economy, right? A lot of guys don't have really good jobs. Their jobs are kind of in flux, and they're kind of still trying to figure out where they want to go and how they want to get there. All that type of stuff, right? So, when you're dealing with stuff like that and you're still trying to date, it creates this uncertainty in their minds. And so that becomes the issue, that becomes the problem. So, listen, I'm trying to get young men to become the best versions of themselves. And when I run into stuff like this, when I hear stuff like this, when I see stuff like this, it just causes me to want to say something and say, listen, you got to do better. You got to first focus. First thing a young man should do is focus on himself. Establish yourself. Focus on yourself. Establish yourself. Get yourself a job, a career, an education, a gig. Do something that is intentional. As Tommy Lauren said in her thing, that you don't have to be Brad Pitt. You don't have to be. These guys don't even know who Brad Pitt is, probably. But you don't have to be some millionaire, some billionaire, right? As long as you're intentional, as long as you're focused, as long as you know where you want to go. That's what a lot of people are just looking for. Second point is, establish a plan for your life, and a plan if you're going to take a woman out on a date. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying to a woman, hey, listen, what do you want to do? What are you in the mood for? You want something to eat? What do you want? And it's usually going to be, listen, I don't really care. Okay. Then don't ask her again. Are you sure? I picked last time. Listen, take initiative, take control, take the lead, take charge. Take initiative, take control, take lead, take charge. There's probably some acronym in there I could probably say. Take initiative, charge, lead, take initiative, cielo, something. I don't know. Take initiative, right? And just make a decision, right? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go play miniature golf, and then after that, we're going to a Mexican restaurant. Bam, point blank. We're going zip lining, and then we're gonna go grab some Chinese. Or we're gonna go back to my spot. We're gonna grab some hot dogs, watch Netflix, whatever. Make a plan. Make a plan. You cannot be scared. You cannot be scared. You cannot be scared that she's gonna like it, because you gave her an opportunity. In that scenario that I just put forth, you gave her an opportunity. She had every chance to voice it. If she left it in your hands, then she left it in your hands. The other side of that is, or the other philosophy of that is, listen, I'm going to go grab something to eat. I'm going to such and such restaurant. Would you like to join me? I'm going here. I'm going there, and I certainly would like some company when I go. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So go ahead, make the plan, and don't be scared. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful. This is the swag. This is the confidence. And somebody who's not willing to rock with that, forget them. Don't sweat. You don't sweat these people who are not sweating you. Don't sweat people who are not thinking about you, who taking forever to get back to you, and all this kind of stuff. So you gotta just do what you got to do, and just keep moving, just keep going forward, just keep moving, just keep going, keep moving forward, and the right person will eventually fall in your lap. But these games that are being played back and forth, you can't keep going for them. As men, you cannot keep going for them, and it displays the lack of an abundance mindset. An abundance mindset essentially says that if it's not you, it'll be somebody else. I have plenty of people. Now, we're not trying to lord that over people. We're not trying to be boastful or braggadocious about the amount of people who want to date us and all that. That's not the point. But the point is, I don't have time for games. The point is, I don't have time to I don't have time. I'm a busy man. I'm making plans and making moves. So either you want to spend some time with me or you don't. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on. So, and you gotta have enough intestinal fortitude, cojones. You gotta have a backbone, a spine that says, I'm not gonna deal with this I'm not gonna deal with this kind of foolishness. You have to make a plan. And and anybody who's not willing to get on your plan and wants to argue about, oh, well, I didn't want to go here and I didn't want to go there, or shows a certain level of ungratefulness, or you got to pay for this and do this babysitter stuff. Listen, man, I understand. I'm making a lot of this content because I understand what this current dating situation is like. It is unpleasant, to say the least. Is mid. It's garbage. Mid is not even it, right? To me, mid is the middle of the road. It's not even middle of the road. It is subpar. It is below. It is beneath. It is under. It is crazy. So, you have to make a decision about whether you want to continue to play this game or not. You have to make a decision about whether you want to continue to play this game or not. And as a man, I'm saying that you need to take control, take lead, take charge, take initiative of your life, and in every place that it's going to go. And you have to be willing to say, somebody has to be willing to meet me at least at minimum halfway and see, here's the plan that I have for my life, and go and here's where I want to go. But first thing is, you got to establish that, and then see if anybody else wants to go along with you for the ride. Because you got to have the mindset that I'm going somewhere, I'm going to be somebody, I'm making moves, and I'm doing things. So you can either come with me, or you don't have to, right? You can do your own thing, right? I'm not the last man on the planet, and you're not the last woman on the planet. So we can either work this thing together, or we don't have to work it at all. So that's what I want to say, right? So I just want to give a little continuation of Tomi Lahren's PSA that she did. I thought it was great at the time she did it. I'll try to remember to link the initial video, which was about 15 minutes long, and it was good. And I know when she did the video, a lot of guys who were claiming to be conservative were saying that she was turning into a feminist. I don't think there was anything in the full 15 minutes or the 3-minute plus that I just played that demonstrates that she showed anything. She's asking men to step up and be leaders and be the men that they're calling for, right? And as she said, you don't have to be, some high-ranking official now, or a high-ranking person, Now, there is some caveats that I would say to that, because a woman in Tommy Lahren position is not going to date someone who's beneath, quote unquote, her level. So you got to recognize that, even as another lady, Ebony K. Williams, said, they're not dating a bus driver. So, I mean, you got to stay within your wheelhouse and in your lane. But that doesn't mean that in your wheelhouse, in your lane, you still shouldn't have the initiative, the drive, the goals, the purpose, and the fortitude, and the intestinal fortitude to make a plan, make a decision, and do all and be that. Now, her talk about valuing value and all that, right? So you value what you value, right? And what men value, what women value are not the same things. And so she wants to be put on the pedestal. And I think this was a lot of criticism. She wants to be put on a pedestal of, this is where I am. And if I see you that you're dealing with someone who's makes sandwiches or Subway or something like that, because she's a big time host on TV, then she's going to take it as an insult. Well, you can take it any way that you want. This is what I'm doing, and your education, your status has no impact upon my status, because no matter what, you want a high status man, and a high status man can date the sandwich maker at Subway, or someone who's cashier at Target or whatever, and you want us to see things as the same. You want us to see things as differently. What a man is looking for is peace. He's looking for home cooked meals. He's looking for a good time in the bedroom, and he's looking for and that peace again. That's you do those things, home cooked meal, give him some peace and give him some good loving. That's all a man is looking for. And I know that you think, and sometimes the ladies think, because of your status and because of whatever, that overqualifies you for someone else. Well, the woman who has these features of homemaking, nurturing, uh, just a beautiful spirit, beautiful attitude, beautiful mindset, sweet, feminine, fit, friendly, will trump the high status woman every day of the week. Every day of the week. Every day of the week. So you gotta recognize that. So again, I just want to leave it off at there. That's I think that was a lot of the pushback that Tommy got. Your status means nothing to another high status man. Not nothing. It's not fair to say it means nothing. But which one are they going to choose? Which one are they going to pick? If can I get peace with this so quote unquote high status woman who's doing this, that, and the other? Can I get peace with that, or can I get peace in a home cooked meal and whatever from somebody else? And if the answer is, well, listen, what does cooking matter? We can go out to eat. What does cooking matter? We can order Uber Eats. I can help pay for it. There's nothing more nurturing to a man than a woman who would prepare his food and yes, even bring it to him sometimes. There's nothing more nurturing to that. There's nothing like being able to cook together. There's nothing like being, and again, having someone who took the time and attention to do it. Now, I know that this seems to be a lost art, but it'd be my assumption that men who really value this are going to value those aspects, the nurturing aspects in a woman, far more than they would appreciate the boss chick energy that a little bit of what Tommy was going in on. But the rest of that about taking lead, taking charge, and all that, I definitely agree that men got to do it. And those women who are not up to your standards as a man who takes charge, takes lead, leave them. Forget them. All right? That's what I got to say. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Am I right about this one? Am I wrong about this one? Tommy Lahren, Over the Top. You can watch the full clip. I'll try to remember to put that in the show notes or in the description, the full 15-minute clip and all that. So, till next time, much love and peace.